All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday morning, joint NANOG ARIN programming. Here to speak with us is John Curran, President and CEO of ARIN. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Good morning. I have some slides to do a quick update to this joint ARIN NANOG gathering, an update on IPv4 address transfers in the ARIN region. So let's see. So we've been doing transfers, quite a few of them actually. This is also available online under the transfers list. These are the address blocks that have been transferred under policy NRPM 8.3, the specified transfer policy. A lot of people seem to know how this policy works, knows how to use it, and it's successful. To the extent that you need address space and you satisfy your need up to 2 years at this point, and you don't like the small 3-month increments that we're giving out of the free pool, you can avail yourself of the transfer policy. I'll also note in the near future, pretty much this is the only way you'll be getting additional address space, so it's worth knowing about. We don't approve all the transfers. Well, you do approve some that are in specific bankruptcy related. These have all been approved and transferred, and in these cases, we've worked with the parties to make sure that the bankruptcy language adequately reflects what the community wants, that the ARIN policies are met and satisfied, and that the rights that are being transferred are in accordance with policy. We've had great success, actually. The bankruptcy community has come to realize what ARIN expects, and it's gone very well. We do deny some. That's what I was going to say. What do we deny? Well, let's see. You try to transfer to a party that's not a network operator and doesn't need addresses, you'll get turned down because they can't document their operational need. If you attempt to transfer blocks and you're not the actual registrant, we turn you down. I don't know why. Spammers are surprised by this a lot, actually. If you attempt to transfer block sizes smaller than the minimum, we have minimums in our policy. Right now, that includes a /24. If you try to transfer something smaller, you're denied. There's very good reasons for that as well, because we all have routing tables to worry about. And requests to transfer blocks larger than needed by the recipient. This is where people get a little upset. You find someone who has a nice /16, you want to use it to continue your business, but as it turns out, your business doesn't need a 16, it needs an 18 over the next 2 years. I'm very sorry, you're going to end up transferring only an 18. That's all we can allow under policy. But it has been working well, has been successful. In fact, we've had our first now, under NRPM 8.4, our first Inter-RIR transfer. The 8.4 Inter-RIR transfer policy allows us to transfer to another RIR, a recipient in another RIR region who has compatible policy. We've had 1/24 block of IPv4 addresses transferred to an APNIC member under the Inter-RIR transfer policy. So that's good to see. And that's very important for people in other regions who might need address space, since there seems to be a lot of it in the ARIN region for historical reasons. So it's been going well. We're very happy to administer these policies. Most people are able to make them work. There is actually a set of facilitators who are experienced in these policies. If you go to the ARIN website and you click in the lower right under transfers, you can find a list on the right-hand bar of facilitators. And these parties have all agreed by contract to follow ARIN's policies and will help you either find someone who has address space or can help you get your address space to someone who needs it. Between the combination of the policies and the facilitators, seems to be going very well. Here's the list of them, the ARIN registered transfer facilitators. And you don't need to use them, but if you want someone to help you get it to the right place, that's an option. That's it. Very short update. Any questions? Microphones are open. Everything's so simple, there's no questions on transfers. Wow, I'm having disbelief. ARIN's so easy to work with, that's great.
Lee Howard, Time Warner Cable. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. I'm pretty sure I know your answer to this question. It's a fairly opaque market. Mm-hmm. Is there any I'm sure that ARIN doesn't know necessarily what prices people are getting for directing the transfers. Are there any resources that you're aware of that would allow sunlight or some transparency into the opacity of this market?
So the information we collect and report is what people have passed according to policy. So that means all we're reporting at present is the normal ARIN daily issued files that show what's been transferred. There was some discussion when the policy was adopted about whether or not we should be requesting additional information. Information such as requests that were turned down, information such as when requests did go through, what the recipient, what price they paid, information like that. We don't collect that. We can. It comes down to policy, and in about 4 hours, the ARIN meeting will kick off, and you guys know how to make policy. So if you want to have us collect more information, feel free to do so. I'm probably going to get hit by someone, but there was actually a wonderful article by Milton Mueller, who wrote about some of the processing that he had done under the Internet Governance Project on the IPv4 transfer market. And there's a paper out there, and some aspects of that paper where they analyze the difficulty in doing classic market evaluation because of the lack of consistent data among the RIRs. I'd recommend people thinking about needs for more information or more policies in this area, look at that as a possible consideration. But as it is, we're only doing what's required, and we're not asking for additional information. I will note that, however, there's a list of facilitators, and they all seem to be very plugged in to what's going on and what seems to be right. And I'm sure actually a few of them are in the room. They've sponsored past events at NANOG and ARIN, and so you can go find one of them, and they can definitely give you a lot of insight into the market. But if you think ARIN should be doing more, welcome to hear about it in a policy proposal. Okay. Any other questions? People who have challenges with the policy, there's an ARIN help desk out front. You can use the ARIN help desk. We think we're pretty easy to work with, but it is true that there can be effort at times. It's not trivial. And the fact of the matter is that it's as hard as, if it is difficult, if we are hard to work with, it's because of the policies that you folks want us to enforce, and we're as hard as you make us. So the good news is that if you do need help, the help desk is out there. ARIN has one that you can call into or write into. And again, on transfers in particular, there are parties trying to help you as facilitators. You have a wide list of options there.
Hi, it's right here on the right hand side. Wilson Lee from Bell. Just curious about the transfer. If the recipient IP address utilization has not hit 80%, is it a hard and fast rule that you will not approve the transfer?
Yeah, the recipient is, you have to look at the recipient's total address space when the transaction is complete. So at the end of the time, we look at the end of 24 months, because that's the current policy, what will the recipient's total address space and total utilization be? Okay? So you can get address space that you don't need today, but it's based on your 24-month growth curve, and you have to be in a situation where you will have utilized that to 80% at the end of 24 months.
Okay.
Okay? Yes. Any other questions? I'm going to be really early. We'll be ahead of schedule. That's great to hear. Okay? Thank you for having me.